Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of April 10th through April 16th in my Sadie Stickers vertical planner. I am doing a memory keeping spread this week for my cruise vacation over spring break using this Jessica Hart's cruise vacation mini kit. So as you can see, this is definitely a cruise specific kit. It just came out recently and I'm so glad she did because now I'm able to use it for this week. I really love the colors on this. It very much matches the vibe of the vacation that I had, and I really love all of the different design elements that she put into this. So very excited. I am going to be pulling in this great one sheet from Once More with Love just for cruising. I filled in a couple of things already, so I'll be able to just stick that on. And I have a couple of extra freebies that I'm going to be using. Well, not freebies, but so I have these really pretty silver nautical stickers from Sadie Stickers. I'm going to be using Sadie Stickers date dots from an advent calendar from 2 years ago. So very useful. I did a lot of reading on this trip, so I will be using some of my silver book stack. And then this was an Oops bundle that I bought last year that I haven't really had an opportunity to use yet. So I will definitely be using some of this today. I just think these are gorgeous. Some more seashell deco, some little mini garlands with shells on it, some more deco, little clusters, a rope divider, some waves, and then rope knot dividers, and then this really pretty dotted shell washi and the rope. So I can't remember if these were oops, if this was an oops thing or if I got these on purpose. They look kind of perfect. So I apologize. I'm getting over a cold and talking is a little hard for me. So let's go straight into speeding things up and voiceover, and I will hopefully have a better voice to record what happened this week. All right, so let's get into it. First thing I should tell you right off the bat is I did actually have COVID at the time. I didn't know that I had it, but that is why I had to wait in order to record these voiceovers, because I literally didn't have a voice to use. And I didn't know it until a lot later, but this was obviously a memory keeping spread. I did not go on a cruise with COVID. That would be completely irresponsible. But anyway, so just wanted to preface with that, and that's why this video was recorded a while ago, but the voiceover is being recorded like a month later, basically, over a month later. So I loved using this kit and putting all of the funky headers down for this. The date dots I put down separately because they would have taken too long, but they look really pretty. They're kind of hard to see. The silver always comes out a little bit more challenging than the gold just because it's a little bit, it bleeds in, but it's still gorgeous. I'm so glad that I was able to use those. So I was very meticulous about choosing which art went on which day, corresponding with the activity of that day. So it took me a minute to kind of really pick and choose. First of all, our cruise was fantastic. We went on Norwegian Cruise Line on the Breakaway, and it's the oldest of the Breakaway class of ships. So for those of you who haven't cruised before, I love Norwegian because they really do a beautiful job with their ships, but they also have, they're new. They're relatively new ships. So everything is state of the art, and it's not overused or overtired. I think it looks really, really good. And I've only done Norwegian cruises, so I can't really speak to other cruise lines, but they have a very free scheduling experience. You don't have to, you make reservations for the specialty restaurants, but you don't have to make reservations for the normal restaurants. You don't have to sit with strangers. It's very personalized to your needs, so I really liked that. But I really enjoyed putting all of this down. Jessica Hart's kits don't come with headers for every single day. If you were doing like the 3-part day, like morning, afternoon, and evening, I don't use my planner like that, but I know some people do. But her kits don't come with enough headers to do 3 headers for each day. But there's just enough for me to use the sidebar and everything else. So that worked out really well. And I'm just debating where to use all this gorgeous deco. I had a little bit of trouble getting it off. I don't know why I didn't just use the planners. Oh, I love that sunburst. It's really pretty. I kind of wish I had more of those. Might have to get more of those. I had to cover the month a little bit in order to get it to fit, but that's okay. So, and then I added all these sweet little accents to the art, these pretty little delicate waves that I had. I just wanted to use up that whole sheet as much as I could because I don't cruise very often. So I added a little seashell decal to the bottom of the seal, or sea lion rather. And then I decided to use the single rope washi right at the top on both sides, and it just looks so pretty. It's very delicate. You can't really see it. Kind of looks just like one long line, but and then I used my ceramic trimmer to make it even on both sides. But yeah, so this was my spring break. We were already in New Orleans for Easter weekend. So we left on Sunday, and so this Monday was actually technically the second day of our cruise, the first full day. We got on the ship and we immediately made reservations for all of the entertainment for the rest of the week, for all the times that we couldn't get before we got on the ship. So I was able to get reservations for the show 6, which is all about Henry VIII's wives. It's now a Broadway show, but we were able to see it on the cruise line as part of our ticket. So that was kind of neat. And I spent a lot of time, sort of more time than I probably should have, fiddling with all of the little extras. It does look fantastic, and I'm so glad that I did it. Basically, what I think I'm doing with these spreads is I'm doing the equivalent of scrapbooking, and I've never scrapbooked really, but I'm sure it takes an extensive amount of time and planning to put these things on, and I'm just kind of winging it. We had all these cute little seashell deco clusters. They're really, really tiny, so I tried to put them in places where they would be spottable. But so I just added a little flag there to note that it was my spring break, and then I added a seashell decal on the side just to give it a little oomph. I added a weekly tracker, which was kind of silly because obviously this has already happened, so the weekly tracker was kind of pointless. But I did end up just saying I tracked my vitamins. I was very good about taking all of my vitamins when I was supposed to. So Monday was our at sea day, so you can see I used that once more with love for that. And we had just a lot of fun stuff happening. It was a very blah day. We just got up, had breakfast, and then I guess I started to write Tuesday. We went to Costa Maya, so we had breakfast in the buffet, and then we went to the Chachaban ruins. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. These were Mayan temples that were just simply gorgeous. They were really, really fun. It was a great excursion. We had to take a bus pretty far out to get to them, although not as bad as the other major one that we skipped because it was like a 4-hour drive each way. So we said no to that. But it was good. It was very active. It was very warm too. And then luckily we missed a giant rainstorm. But it was really fun. I feel like that was the most cultural part of our trip. So we explored the Mayan ruins together and met some flamingos. Oh, so the seaport of Costa Maya had all of these like swim up bar, pool, shopping situations, which, you know, if I had really known that that was there, I might have said, let's just stay here and do that. But I didn't know about it. So we got to sort of walk around, but there was an aviary and there were these beautiful flamingos. So we got to sort of talk to the flamingos. We had cocktails in different bars all over the ship, and there was a martini bar, so I had an aviation, and then we ate the most delicious meal at Cagney's Steakhouse. I don't know how they do this. We don't eat at steakhouses very often, but it's the most delicious food. And when we're done, we always come away with it saying like we're never going to be able to eat again because it's just so filling and good. I don't know how we managed to get through without exploding, but anyway, so we did that, and then I read a lot on this cruise. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, I read a lot of things, and it was the most reading I've gotten done in a really, really long time. So I was truly grateful for that. Wednesday, we went to Belize. We had a wave runner excursion, which was so fun. My husband drove the wave runner, and I sat on the back, and we got to explore the waters of Belize too. They let us hop off and swim around in the coral, which I was not expecting, so that was awesome. Then we went out on the beach and had a beach drink together, and then pretty much by lunchtime we were done and ready to go back to the ship. So it was perfect. We had just the right amount of time doing that excursion without too much exhaustion. And then we just kind of palled around on the ship. We had a little dinner date at the Manhattan Room. I used the pizza icon because I think my husband ate pizza. I don't think I did, actually. So we had dinner at the Manhattan Room, which was one of the free restaurants that's included in the ship, and they had a live band playing. It was so romantic and sweet. And then I managed to get us into the ice bar, which was the coolest experience, literally, because they give you jackets and you're basically walking into a giant freezer where they give you vodka cocktails made out of ice. And the longest you can stay in that room is 25 minutes. Most of the people that we went in with had to leave after 5 minutes, and they give you 2 drink tickets. So in theory, you can have 2 vodka drinks within a span of 25 minutes, which can be a lot. People kept giving me their drink tickets because I was not really that cold. Like I had to take my gloves off to take pictures, and it wasn't a big deal. And people, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I have some kind of nerve damage because I experience hot and cold very differently, I guess. So that was amazing. I loved that. Thursday, we went to Roatan, which was we went to a private resort. This was maybe my favorite day. We didn't really know what to expect. It was a private island. They had an entire menagerie on this island with tigers and jaguars and like just monkeys, turtles. And nobody else was on the animal tour with us for some reason. I don't know how that happened, but we got to take pictures of the capuchin monkey, which has been a lifelong dream of mine ever since I saw Monkey Trouble at the age of 5. So we had an amazing time, and that was maybe my favorite day because the lunch was included, the drinks were not expensive, we got to hang out on a beach, we went in the water, we got to see the animals. It was glorious. I loved it so much. Can't recommend it enough. We had dinner and cocktails on the ship, and I think we just went to the buffet and hung out. I believe I got a little sunburned on this day, even though I tried really hard not to. So Friday was the last port of call. It was Cozumel. We did something called the Amazing Rio Secreto, which is basically cave spelunking with a river. So we got to wear wetsuits and lights, and we got to go cave spelunking like neck deep in the water. It was so much fun. We saw stalactites and stalagmites, and it was incredible. And then included lunch with fresh Mexican food and drink. The getting there was kind of a pain because we had to take a bus, a ferry to a bus, and then a bus to a ferry each way. So there was a lot of travel involved. And then we were just kind of stuck at Playa del Carmen in this one shopping area, and we just weren't excited about shopping. For people who love to shop, I'm sure it's really fun, but we were just kind of tired and done at that point, so we just hung out with the rest of our fellow cruisers and waited to get back on the ship. We had dinner at one of the local, like the non-expensive restaurants on the ship, and it was so much fun just to walk around and explore. It was romantic. I was very relaxed. It was at that point of the trip where you have at least one more day, so you don't have to feel sorry about leaving, but you don't really want your trip to end. Saturday, we literally drank all day. I think I started drinking at about 10 in the morning, and we didn't stop until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So it was like 12 hours of drinking. And I read Lore by my good friend Alexandra Bracken, who I cannot recommend this book enough. It was so good. Please go read it. And she's got a brand new series that just came out as well. So check that out. I'll put the link in the video below, in the description below. We had our last dinner on the boat at the buffet, and I was so sad to leave. So sad to leave. We did disembarkation after the last buffet breakfast, and we spent the day at NOLA Airport. Now, I know some of you will be like, why didn't you go out and explore? It was a Sunday at the end of a very long day. We had a lot of luggage with us, and we didn't want to cart it around NOLA. So we had a nice flight back. We came to when we got home, we had a hard time getting a cab on the way back. It was a real pain. It was the last day of spring break, so I think it was just a really heavy travel day for a lot of people. But we got back, we checked the house, we checked work emails, and then I had to prep for a full day of work, and I was not happy about it. It's just so hard when you have to come back from vacation. But this was one of the best vacations I've ever had. I loved going to all of these places. And I'm so glad that I was able to document my experience. We have lots and lots of pictures. I regret not putting pictures in this spread, but I think there were just too many to choose from. And so it's worth having just a separate photo album for that. I'm just journaling on the side there. It says, our anniversary and Christmas gifts to one another. This trip was the first major vacation since our honeymoon and a much needed break from work. It was a huge success and proved that I can actually relax with a little encouragement. So there you have it. That is the full scope. And now back to my COVID hoarse voice. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here we have it. This is the final representation of our cruise week, and this, I mean, really doesn't even come close. As I was doing it, I kind of wish that I had actual pictures from our trip in here, but I think we're going to do a full album separate from that. So I think this actually encompasses everything really well. I loved being able to use all of the different fun parts of these Sadie stickers kits, just because I would never ever have purchased these individually, some of them. And so I really encourage everyone to take advantage of the ones that she currently has, because it's such a good deal for what you get. But overall, I really love this, and I'm excited to look back on this and have these memories here. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for something new and exciting next week. Take care.